I want to talk about Luke Fickell. Heads to Wisconsin. Surprise hire to me. I don't know if I should have been surprised by that. Hack can tell me if I should or should not have been, but I didn't expect his name to end up in Madison, of all places. I would have thought if it ended up anywhere in the Big Ten, it might have been that program in Columbus. And I'm not saying there's going to be a coaching change, but with the way this last week played out, maybe a little more patience could have led to Luke Fickell having a different job in the Big Ten, not so far off from now. So for overreaction purposes, Hack, Luke Fickell took the wrong Big Ten job. Yes or no?
Well, everything that you've hinted at, my perception of Luke Fickell and everything that I've heard, in the talking heads and small irrelevant circles that I tend to dance in at times, was that Luke Fickell was gonna sit in Cincinnati until the Ohio State job came back open.
Right.
Like he was gonna sit.
I've heard the same
tight,
thing.
hold, and when that Ohio State job came back open, he was gonna shove all in. That's where he wanted to be. Do I think that he took the wrong job? I think he can do more at Wisconsin than he could ever do at Cincinnati. I think they can be a consistent contender because of how they're built, the mentality. I think he fits it. But again, he made it this far, man. Like if I was him, I'd have kept waiting it out. Like he was going to sit cozy, man. He was going to be cushy sitting there in Cincinnati. Like they were never going to force him out. Whatever happened. Like the grass wasn't greener there for Cincinnati. He had all the power. Like he could have just sat it out. And I think he never would have had any polish come off of him as a candidate. I think he could have only improved it by having to every year go out and out recruit these guys and build a roster in a creative manner. I think he could have only improved it. So I'm not going to say he took a bad job. I think the Wisconsin job's a damn good job, and I think you can win there. And I think you can be. It's a program that has a ton of support, and I think you can win and be very competitive there. But when you're comparing the hypothetical situation of not firing of Ryan Day, but Ryan Day moving on to greener pastures in the NFL, which I think is his ultimate goal at some point in time. And that may be happening a little bit faster because of the entire psychological shift at Ohio State that we've already covered. I don't think it's an overreaction to say he took the wrong Big Ten job. I think he just maybe just got tired of sitting and waiting and took what he felt was best and what he felt he could go in and compete at the highest level with, based upon what's happening right now in the landscape of college football. So I don't blame him, but I think a little more patience might have paid off for what I've been told was his dream job.
Timing's everything.
But I also don't think he would have made that move because they ain't dumb and everyone talks. I don't think he would have made that move without knowing a little something about the current state of Ohio State as well. I don't think he would have made that move. So I don't want to think that he's dumb and naive and they don't have ears everywhere, because they do.
Yeah.
So,
right. That's the whole point of having an agent.
Yes.
I'm gonna do kind of double it up here. So I got two things. One, I agree with you, Hack. I think you're spot on. That's the job that he wanted. That's the job that he didn't have the patience to wait for because he felt like he had to do something. But I also think that he's looking at Matt Campbell, PJ Fleck, and he's like, I got to do something. I have to do something. And that's the part where that's the hardest. I think that's one of the hardest parts of coaching in terms of getting the next job is, what do I do now? Do I even Manny Diaz? Do I take the Temple job as the defensive coordinator? And then I guess I just quit the Temple job and come back to Miami? What do I do? And that's a big part of that we don't talk about nearly enough is these guys make choices. You have to make a choice. And that choice essentially can seal your fate. Good situation, bad situation, good alumni, bad alumni. Huh?
I mean, I don't know about all that. I mean, look at all these examples. I mean, look at Hugh Freeze. Like, if Hugh Freeze did what he did in any other, and it's not a knock on the guy, man. I think he's a good guy. Like, I'm just saying, like, if everything that happened with him at Ole Miss, like, followed you and was really tied to you, do you think he'd have got a job like Auburn if it was like corporate America? Like, it's its own profession. Like, I think good guys, no matter what happens, I think you can.
I don't know that Hugh Freeze is a good guy. I think that
good at what you're doing. Good at
his job.
Yes.
Good at coaching football. Sure.
Yes.
What I'm saying is that, but then you look at, but I'm saying, like, you look at, like, Matt Campbell, hottest coach on the block. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
But if push came to shove, someone would hire him.
How do you sell a 4-8 Matt Campbell to Nebraska?
You don't, but if he was the best option out there, they do it. Like, he's not going to be jobless, I guess is what I'm saying. Like, these guys aren't going to.
No, I'm not worried about the guys
at
all. They're going to listen. They're going to keep making way more money than I make for sure. But you can't sell a 4-8 Matt Campbell to Nebraska like this year.
But he could get hot again.
I think
it's just like anything, you know what I mean? Sure. You can get hot again. You get on a little heater, and you.
Why is Matt Campbell? Why was Matt Campbell not the guy for Nebraska?
Because I'd have taken Roll as well, based upon what he did.
You'd have taken Roll as well, and see, I would have taken Campbell.
Well, that's where we differ. I mean, I think Roll won at Temple. He won at Baylor. He's been proven at multiple places and different.
And Campbell won at Iowa State. He won at the state next to you.
But I think maybe the point.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The stock of who Matt Campbell is now and the opportunities he would get is below where it was 2 years. I mean, 2 years ago, Michigan fans would have driven him to Ann Arbor to take over for Jim Harbaugh.
USC fans wanted him. Like, it was. That's all I'm saying. It's a hard spot to be in, and you have to make a choice. That's all. That's the only thing I'm trying to say.
So those were the first two of many coaching carousel moves that I'm sure we will break down here